How are you guys doing? This is Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. I am joined with special guest today, Marc with CryptoQuest 95.
It's like Windows 95. That was
the latest version.
Yeah.
We are leaving town today, but Marc is a fellow Bitcoincash friend and user in business. And I went to check out his business and how he's using Bitcoincash with his staff. And I thought a lot of things we're talking about could be helpful to viewers of the channel that are looking to use Bitcoincash in their business too. So that, and I also want to talk about cash tokens, which Marc has a lot of interest and questions in too, on how not only that whole ecosystem is forming, but also why business owners should, look into it. So without further ado, I kind of have a couple questions for Marc, as someone that uses Bitcoincash in business. Marc, what was the way you set up Bitcoincash in your business and with your staff, and how'd you educate them as like, hey, this alternative payment method, standard operating procedures, like those kind of things?
Well, first off, hi Ryan.
Hi.
Ryan's a good friend of mine. And we actually did a video that's on my channel, and we're doing one on his, so you guys in the description on both of our channels can see each other.
I'll link his video there.
But yeah, Ryan's leaving. We're actually driving to the airport now, and I'm saying goodbye to you, but also to this vehicle.
Yes, that's pretty Tesla X. It goes really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gone tomorrow. Nice rental. But anyway, so we got Bitcoincash at my business, and I've been using Bitcoincash at my business for a long time. And actually, like 2 years ago, I was paying someone who was helping me in Japan. I work a lot in Japan. And they were paying people for me, and also I was paying them with Bitcoincash. And it was so easy because I didn't have to do Wise, I didn't have to do bank transfers, different currency, like none of that. I hated that. So if I needed to pay someone over there, I would send her Bitcoincash, and then she would convert it to yen and then deal with whoever wants yen, right? And what was really funny is we were talking before about how Bitcoincash is performing really well this year, very good asset. And when I was paying her, it was like $90 to $100 for Bitcoincash, and I paid her full salary for like, it must have been a year, and it was a lot of money that she earned. And then she doesn't work with me anymore, but I texted her when Bitcoincash hit $700 like a month or two ago, and I was like, hey, did you see these? I hope you save some.
Hope you save some, for sure.
But it's
good to spend, but it's also good to keep a little bit around.
Yeah. But in any event, now I have more staff, and I've always wanted to accept Bitcoincash, but it's challenging operationally to do so, mostly because you don't get a lot of customers that will want to pay with it, right? You'll get like one customer every once in a while that's super like pumped up about it, like I am when I go to another business, like in all my videos, like when I visit places that accept Bitcoincash or even other currencies, Bitcoin, whatever. It's always like really cool. For the side where you're operating the business, it's challenging because you got new staff, you get old staff that forget how to use it, and you don't have the volume of customers coming in that want to pay with it, so things kind of like slack off. And there's also the vision part, right? If you just tell your staff like, hey, we're going to be accepting this now, this weird thing that you don't know anything about, they don't care. Like, they don't understand the why. What makes Bitcoincash or crypto so unique and special that we would even want to accept it? So yeah, for us, we, our company manual has training for Bitcoincash, accepting it. Our register has it, along with instructions. All of our staff get trained. Also, we test them, so that's an important part. And so every so often, we will have one of like my lead members of the team try to order something with Bitcoincash, and if the person can't do it, that's accepting the payment, then they're taken off to be retrained. Before they can even restart their shift. They have to be back. They have to be trained.
Marc runs a tight ship.
Yeah, but no, it's not like because I'm trying to be rude or mean, And it'd be the same like if I had a staff member who didn't know how to accept a credit card, like I wouldn't let them at the register until they can master that. So, it's kind of simple in a sense. It's just retraining, and which you should be doing anyway with the business. Like regular retrainings is just part of running a good healthy business.
So I have a question. You brought up a great point, and I own a restaurant, as a lot of people here know, and you've actually brought me some good ideas. that solving the volume problem to make sure the standard operating procedure stays consistent, with it, because it's not built into the modern POS structure if you're using something like Toast or Square or one of these point of sale systems. What I saw was interesting, Marc's doing, he's offering a discount if you pay in Bitcoin Cash, and that can help pull the volume, and it's something that we've worked out when we've done business together, discounts for paying in Bitcoin Cash.
Well, it makes sense, right? So when customers come in, if they pay with Bitcoin Cash, they're going to get a discount. They're going to get a 10% discount, and for our customers, that's a really big deal. So what we don't have yet is training and information, like at the register, that we can get them up to speed on what Bitcoin Cash is and how to like get it and use it, which I will. I'm going to set that up, including it's going to be a faucet. So when people come in, if they're new and haven't used the payment before, we're going to do a faucet thing there where they get a small amount of Bitcoin Cash just on their phone, and I'm going to build that out into the system. In any event, the concept is that if there's a 10% discount and they come in, they're going to have economic incentive to say, okay, well, let me try it, let me use it, especially regulars, because as you saw my business, and we have a lot of customers that are there regularly, sometimes multiple times every day. So having like 10% discount is basically a free item every 10 visits, it's a no-brainer. So it's a powerful tool, and you might be thinking, well, like, why as a business, obviously I'm passionate about crypto, right? But why as a business does it make sense? Well, the reason it makes sense is, first off, it encourages repeat business, but it's also, if I want to get Bitcoin Cash right now, I have to go on an exchange and pay a fee. So I can sidestep that fee. I don't have to deal with chargebacks or anything of that. I don't have payment processor fees. Not only is there a fee for like Visa, MasterCard, and all these, but there also are fees for the register system that I have to pay fees to the company that does that. So I think all those together, I'm already losing whatever percent. Like maybe not 10%, but maybe, especially if it's a big order where someone does a chargeback, who knows what I'm losing. So all of these things together make sense to accept it and make sense for customers to use it. And that's what bridges the gap. And of course, the staff get tipped in it.
Yes.
So they have it on their phone, and then it becomes interesting to them. And actually, what's funny is when I started explaining what Bitcoin Cash was to the staff, I actually shared your video. And your video is in our company manual. What is this thing?
Right. That's very cool. Yeah, we were also talking about well, one, I think too, you're going to be building a store internationally. So receiving there and having those funds to send other international payments to do things offshore. I've sold things to the Caribbean, and the clients really prefer to use
Indian summer. Am I allowed to say that?
Sure.
Indian summer.
Yeah,
it's my favorite place.
If you're ever in Nevis in St. Kitts, and actually, it's got a location in St. Kitts now too.
Oh, great!
Some of the best Indian food I've ever had.
And I'm in Jersey. We have a lot of Indian cuisine here, but Indian summer's the best.
So, anyways, there's if you send an international payment or any kind of wires are horrible. And at least this is where it's important that that crypto stays in front of the market, because in the early days of crypto, there wasn't things like Zelle or Venmo.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly how those things work internationally, but it's at least made it easier because wires are so annoying.
Right.
You got to pay the wire transfer fee same day, next day. You got to fill out an international SWIFT code and all these other regulatory processes. Where with something like the shareable link on the Bitcoin.com wallet, you could honestly just WhatsApp or Telegram someone funds, and or Instagram people funds. You can send so many payment rails.
Yeah.
So that is probably a nice reason to, if you're doing anything internationally, to have a currency that doesn't see borders is really cool. And then I wanted to talk to you more about cash tokens, really. Because this concept of even just using Bitcoin Cash, there sounds like there's some kind of like incentive, almost like a loyalty program.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what cash tokens is,
I don't. I mean, I know the word, and I've heard people talk a little bit about it, but I actually don't know much beyond maybe what most of the audience who doesn't know about it has heard.
Yeah, so there's been this is nothing new to really crypto, in a sense that they've wanted to do more with money than just send it back and forth, have it scarce, and these things that make Bitcoin Cash great money. But they wanted to create more programmable features on the chain and do, you know, smarter things, or smart contracts, they'll call them, on the blockchain. So, you know, Cash tokens was really, I think, one of the most innovative things to happen to crypto in a while. And it's still like, you know, Bitcoin Cash is a pretty big currency. It's like one of the biggest, the top 15 still. Yeah. But it's still like the best kept secret, because a lot of people there's a big demand for doing smart things like creating NFTs or engaging in a contract with someone that has, you know, consequences if XYZ, you know, variables happen. All right, guys, pardon the new camera angle. We had a little issue with the battery there, but we were talking about some really good things, and I want to start over. But we were talking about Ethereum's EVM, and why Cash tokens is superior to it is for a couple reasons. Is that we're seeing that EVMs really can't scale. You're getting very high fees on Ethereum. They call them gas fees, right? And it's not a scalable solution for smart contracts. So the market, you know, is continuing to look for solutions, and one of the most popular other ones right now is Solana. Solana does lots of transactions per second and can do it pretty cheaply. But the problem is that it's very centralized, and the chain stops working often. They got to go in and fix it, and it just opens up a whole issue of like, well, who has control of this thing? If it can get turned on, who turns it back off, right? Where, you know, things like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are a lot more permissionless. And,
but is this about, okay, Bitcoin Cash? You're saying that Bitcoin Cash can do what Solana and Ethereum can do, cheaper, right? But can it actually do it as well? Is it? So are there features that Ethereum has that the Bitcoin Cash token thing doesn't have?
So that's a really good point to make, because while it can do the things that it can do on the other chains, and it can do it at the protocol layer, so it's similar to Bitcoin Cash transaction, where the fee is the same, and this is a, you know, big issue with you know, creating more demand, and that's what they created the block size algorithm with all this new demand that comes to Bitcoin Cash from this. We need to make sure we have the space so our fees don't get high as well. But the thing, if you're a developer watching this video or want to develop, you know, smart things or create NFTs or smart contracts and these types of things, it's EVM from today is probably easier to build on. Full disclosure is probably an easier thing to build on. It's been, because it's had years of building on top that, you know, it just makes a better user experience. So they're doing things on Cash tokens, like they've written things called a Cash script that make interacting with the DeFi layer easier, where it's not as technical to do things. It's probably still relatively technical, but things are getting easier is what I'm getting at. Is it's only been around for a year now, and
so it has the same technical capabilities, but of course the user interface might be a little bit less developed simply because it's newer. Is that the concept?
That, and it's and the scripting is take it as like a different language per se. It may, if you know how to write, you know, maybe like trying to write in cursive, or like, for example, you're doing something similar, but you're having to do it differently.
But in terms of capability, it's the same.
It's
the same capabilities.
But what we're finding is it's much more powerful because of the throughput capacity in a decentralized way. So if you go to something called CauldronQuest, Cauldron.quest, that's the current DEX for Cash tokens. And you can see all the different tokens you can start using. The whole ecosystem's flourishing. A lot of projects are getting built on it. A lot of talent is around Cash tokens. And we hope now, because that we failed with Smart BCH, we failed with SLP. There's been many attempts at this before, but Cash tokens is the most innovative.
Oh, I remember SLP.
Remember that?
With Spice?
Yes. These things did not prove to be
So what makes this different?
Because it's at the protocol layer. These were, and it took a hard fork to make it built into the protocol layer.
Oh, okay.
So it got full consensus, and it's run when the blocks get verified.
When did that go into being?
May 15th of 2023. So we have a year of development, and the ecosystem is flourishing. And I wanted to bring it up in this video because we're talking about, you know, what we did when I, you know, hosted the Bitcoin Cash conference in Slovenia was actually like
that was so recent.
We did the tickets to get in more NFTs, and what's cool about that is, it says like you should be in here. You obviously have a ticket. That doesn't require a lot of like the invasive things that you know, like I didn't have to ask anyone their email, their name, and just check in. They could just show me their.
Okay, but that doesn't sound like it's going to benefit the IRS.
If the IRS is watching, I don't know if it'll benefit you. but yeah, I just think if you believe in a certain right to privacy and don't want to disclose certain things about you, especially when you're just coming to an event, but where it can, if you want to be associated with things too, like a loyalty program for a restaurant, a cafe, any kind of business, if you're using Bitcoin Cash to your business, there's an advantage to use Bitcoin Cash for a discount. So what's interesting from a loyalty program is that if you have it associated with your business, that, call it whatever, my company's called Commercial Kitchen Stop. If I have a Commercial Kitchen Stop NFT, you get certain rights, and I can sell these things, but actually you should be a little careful about that because there's some security laws. NFTs are made and sold every day. I'm not trying to, that's your IRS for you. But so Cash Tokens is a super powerful tool. There's obviously billions of total value locked up on all these smart chains, and Bitcoin Cash actually has some of the most scalable technology to do this. And I just want to talk about this video because Marc has been watching it. He wanted to learn a little bit more about it, and because it's not the reason you really got into Bitcoin Cash to start, but obviously the market wants it, and this is what Bitcoin could have been. It could have watched what the market was doing and just be with this large brand recognition, absorb it all.
Exactly. There wouldn't be a need for any other coin. Like, it's funny how a lot of the people who are these staunch, aggressive Bitcoin maximalists that say everything else is a shitcoin, and yet they're the butthole that has pooped all of it out. I mean, literally, all of it's come from Bitcoin not being able to function as anything other than, even calling it digital gold is not an analogy, a good analogy, but whatever it is now, its lack of ability to pivot in the market and accommodate the market has created its own demise, where it's created all of this, these other coin solutions that take away from its own market cap.
Yeah, so if you look at the total market cap of crypto, and Bitcoin's about 50% of it, and it looks like a lot, but it was actually over 90%, so the price can easily be double the value right now if it took these things. But long story short, that's gone, but that's what Bitcoin Cash, what's so exciting to be a part of it is that the community recognizes what the market wants and adjusts that way.
Well, to bring it back to businesses, like, anytime you open a business, you have to be flexible and plastic as to what the market actually wants, and you can either give it the market what it wants, or you can go against it and then suffer the consequences. And that's certainly what's happened with BTC. Is it's created all of these competitors.
So if you guys are considering using Bitcoin Cash for your business, what is the means that you suggest someone start? How difficult is it to start? If someone wanted to watch this video, wanted to start accepting Bitcoin Cash, what would you tell them?
So the easiest way is just to get like an old phone of yours, keep it in the shop, and then you download an app that's on the App Store or on the Android equivalent, which is called Bitcoin Cash Register app. It's super easy and user-friendly, and there's a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel that show you how to do it. In fact, if you go to usecash.com, we have a full training tutorial that's only 4 minutes, and it will show you how to download the app, set up the connection where it goes to your personal, like when someone pays, it goes to your wallet and through the store phone, and it even has training videos for your staff, which again is it's 60 seconds long, so it won't take your staff any brain power to process, or time really beyond 60 seconds.
Also, I do want to give a shout out just back to Cash Tokens. You're getting some more wallet support from different wallets. One I do want to shout out this video, I think they're doing a terrific job, is the guys at Paytaka. You can manage your collectibles, your NFTs, your everything. You can interact with the Cash Tokens ecosystem with the wallet.
That's
cool. Terrific.
I'll show you the iPhone.
Yeah, it's on the iPhone store.
Oh, that's great.
So I'll show you some of my NFTs after this.
Really? I want to. A Bitcoin Cash NFT?
Yeah, you can go get them off CauldronQuest.com, or I'm sorry, Cauldron.quest.
Yeah.
Which is the DEX where you can interact with to get these tokens. It's just the idea of wanting tokens and NFTs and collectibles.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things you could do besides sending digital value that you can send, permissionlessly and create ecosystems with. And obviously, like, it's nothing new. But what's new is that nothing is ever.
It's all on the base chain.
It's all on the protocol layer.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Also, if you do end up accepting Bitcoin Cash to your business, you can use some maps, right? Mapping is helpful to allow people that want to spend Bitcoin Cash at your business spend it. Do you have any maps you recommend?
Yeah, there's two. So there's maps.bitcoin.com, which is more centralized in the sense that you kind of have to submit to it and it gets approved by Bitcoin.com, the wallet, and it's a great map. Another one is just on usecash.com. We have a map there that's a little more decentralized, so the data might be a little bit more cowboy, but there's not a central reviewing board necessarily. But you also have to be in the location that you're at, that you want to put the pin in, because you can't be 1,000 miles away and put the pin. You have to be there. So yeah, both those maps are pretty cool, and there might be others that I don't really know of, but those are the ones that I kind of know.
Yeah, it's a useful thing, and you can probably do further research and find more maps. But if you want to find more people to spend at your business, and you're likely to find crypto enthusiasts that would rather spend with you than a competitor that doesn't accept crypto.
If you have a brick and mortar, it's probably a good idea, especially if you have a restaurant or bar or something, to have events there.
Yeah. Actually reminds me, June 26th at Ravish Off Ocean, holding a multi-coin event I'll be speaking at over at Ravish. You guys want to come and talk more about it?
Great restaurant. I've been there. I was there, I think, twice when I was on my last trip.
You got some fish?
Yeah, and then I came back when you weren't around.
And then, so yeah, guys, if you have questions for Mark or I, leave them down in the comment section. Make sure you head over to his channel. I'll have the video linked in the description, as I mentioned. And any questions, whatever we can do to be helpful to help your business use crypto. And if you guys have any feedback on how crypto maybe has been helpful to your business, feel free to let us know. These are some things that we both found helpful in our time. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for future content, tap that notification bell to make sure you see every time I upload a video, which is just about every week here on YouTube, and do the same for Mark. Later, guys.